mech warriors of the clans and Minisphere, and welcome to the drop decks of the Lake Sword Regiment of the Comp Guard. I'm Centurus, and today we're playing with a mech loadout that I just recently put together. Today we are running the CP-11-A. This is an interesting mech in that it comes with a gauss rifle cooldown quirk. As such, we're going to be running gauss rifles on it, specifically 2 light gauss rifles. Now these already have a incredibly fast cooldown for gauss rifles. We're looking at 2.6 seconds between the mech's standard quirk that gives a 10% reduction on cooldown, as well as everything that we have in our skill trees. We get to drop almost half a second off of that. Now that doesn't seem like much, however that does mean that, with even just a half second reduction, allows us to fire just that much quicker, which is very good for the damage output, considering the fact that when we fire these in pairs, that's 16 points of damage every 2 seconds if we're constantly firing. Now on top of this, we have a trio of MRM-10s for another 30 points of damage, as well as a trio of medium lasers, which add another 15. It gives us 61 points of damage on our alpha potential. While not incredibly devastating, at first glance, considering the fact that you can put 61 points of damage plus another 18 every 2 seconds afterwards, while waiting for the MRMs and medium lasers to do their own cooldowns, which are 4 and 3¼ seconds respectively. That 61 points of damage over the course of a full cooldown cycle for the MRMs quickly pushes upwards of almost 100, which that quickly becomes devastating to even other assault mechs. We are running a light engine 315, which gives us a modest Minisphere assault speed of 56.7 kph. This does mean that once we lose both side torsos, we are dead. So there's going to be a lot of torso twisting when running this mech. Your arms do tend to get blown off fairly quickly if you don't watch it though, so you do run that risk of losing that 15 points of firepower. Generally speaking, you'll want to put your left arm towards the enemy first and then your right arm. That way you're only losing 5 points off the top instead of the 10. Although a lot of that does come down to how you as a pilot tend to torso twist. Onto our skills. We went primarily for our green missile nodes, as those are the ones that are most useful with our MRMs, and then we went for magazine capacity. Gauss charge wasn't really high on my priorities list, just because Gauss rifles do hold, the light Gauss rifles do hold their charge for a decent amount of time, and we're not wanting to hold targets for too long. Gauss rifles are primarily snapshots, a decently aimed snapshot at that. We have all but one of our armor hardening points and the majority of our skeletal density and reinforced casing. We want armor hardening primarily just because having more structure doesn't really help in preventing our weapons from getting critted. That is one of the drawbacks with the clan and Minisphere Gauss rifles, is if they get destroyed, they tend to explode. Operations, we're running full cool run and heat containment. This is to help keep us running cool, especially considering the fact that we're running 3 each of MRMs and medium lasers. With the constant firing that is most effective, you do tend to generate a lot of heat with that. Our sensors, we got 60% radar deprivation. This means that if we have to withdraw from the enemy, as soon as we break line of sight, they will lose locks on us just that much quicker, which is generally very beneficial if we're trying to get away from LRAD mechs. Then we do not have any auxiliary. Our one consumable slot is just a single cool shot, because that's really about all we need. Without further ado, let's get on to the battles. Alright, first match of the day is Skirmish on HPG Manifold.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems
It'll be interesting to see how this match turns out.
This is command. Eliminate
Since
all
most of our
enemies,
weight seems
no
to
matter
be
the cost.
on this right hand side of the map, we're probably going to be going for an echo line push.
Alright, parties at Foxtrot 5. Foxtrot 5, all.
And up in Foxtrot 5, like Tumbleweed seems to be suggesting. See how that goes.
F is for fun. Yes. Fun? Cruising into Foxtrot 5.
And there he goes.
Give me targets and I'll bring the rain.
Target spotted.
Looks like we got Target Alpha back in the
Here coming
Charlie
up,
line.
D4 to D3.
And
Echo
we've got
5
a
is
few
on.
more over here in
Recommend
Alpha. So we got a
right back on
Warhammer
the
6
Fox line.
Romeo, a Catapult K2, probably going to be
Charlie
running
is
PPCs.
New target
Got
acquired.
one Cresting. Let's switch to Heat Vision just so that we can actually see what we're shooting at. Do not want all choke.
New target acquired.
Got some early damage off there. Didn't take too much. About 4%. So not great, but not horrible either.
Hotel back here. Hotel
Snapshot. Foxtrot's feeling the pain. That's good, that's good.
New target acquired.
Supernova would love to.
Second formation on Golf.
We just walked
Echo
right
5
into an
Papa
arty
on
strike.
Golf.
That's not good.
India catapult. Good friend on
Got
India.
some guys up
Target
top.
spotted.
It's good. Let's push down here. I really want to go up against that Supernova though. It's a boiler.
Bravo down the open.
Oh no, can I squeeze a snapshot through? Nope.
New target acquired.
And I'm getting shot in the back. Ooh. 8. Back.
New
Why are you
target
turning your
acquired.
back on the target, Bella? Turn your back on the target some more. Go for it. Nicely done.
And that's a arm off the Supernova. Poof. Sorry, that's not good enough. That's a Kit Fox. Good old bowler. Let's take another peek on this side. Stormcrow is a little low. That's behind us. That's
New
always
target
easy.
acquired.
Ah, come on. No walls, gotta love 'em. It's not far enough. As a heavy PPC catapult, looks to be running a Barradool build. So let's back up a bit more. Let's get up top side. So looks like there's a few
New target
enemies spread
acquired.
across the way. Take down Marauder 2-4 Lima, running aircraft 5, and machine guns and a heavy PPC. Weirdest build I've ever seen on one of those. Target Kilo, open CG.
Catapult B is one touch.
Push up a little further.
New target acquired.
This is what I mean about the high cycling rate. doing 630 points of damage. It's not too bad. That's how the rest of the team is doing. Vapor Eagle, it's running really low, really small since it has rounds. Just taking out light max. Grabbing too large, too small. Slows their overall reaction is. Struggle I know quite well from my days of playing on an HP Pavilion laptop. That was a good game on the enemy, for the enemy team. They did well. Let's see how we did. So we got 2 kill assists, 630 points of damage done, with only 1 component destroyed, as the arm off of that supernova, I believe. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get a win for the first match, but that's how it goes sometimes. Let's go ahead and get on to the next. Right, second match of the day, we're doing Assault on Rubelite Oasis. It's going to be a good match to test our heat management skills, as this is an incredibly warm map. Not the hottest, but it really pushes up there. Let's get moving. Chances are we're probably going to be trying to face the enemy from the upper platform. So, along the Fox line, push up here through Fox 6 and probably rejoin with the rest of the group over in Fox 5. We'll engage in a good old-fashioned Mexican standoff with the enemy team, wind up over in Echo 6. Try to hold here along Fox 5, Fox 6, or do we want to push forward into Echo? The response. Signal, which means we've probably got a light mech around, and probably means we'll be seeing a UAV pop up shortly.
Target acquired.
Spotted.
What we got here? Target Alpha is Quick Draw. Yeah, I forgot. There's certain map elements that are actually dynamic instead of static. Okay, Quick Draw is behind cover, so I can't hit him.
Target
Got over
acquired.
here. Delta is a Thunderbolt.
Target
And
acquired.
what is Echo? Ooh boy. More low signal. Means we probably got a light mech right there in front of us. Or, something running ECM.
Target spotted.
Thank you, Kodiak.
Acquired.
This may prove to be problematic.
Acquired.
Target spotted.
Is that Quick Draw running? LRMs. An IV4. Interesting. Generally speaking, on IV4s, the quote-unquote meta build for those is 2 MRAM 40s.
Target spotted.
It's interesting seeing something different. See if we can get another angle on it. Doesn't look like. Let's have to see it again. Ooh, sorry.
Target spotted.
And it's running ECM, that means we are facing a Pirate's Bane.
New target acquired.
Those things are the literal bane of existence in this game.
New target
Let's see here, we got a
acquired.
Marauder 2 for Lima running underneath us. And that's the same guy that we faced from the previous match. So do we brawl him?
New target acquired.
Oh, that's a Fafnir. I can't get an angle on him.
Target spotted.
There we go. Oh. Ooh, that one hurt. Let me move. That's a heavy gauss Fafnir. We don't like wrestling with those. Stupid thing is, because most of my firepower is torso mounted, I can't get an angle on him.
New target acquired.
See if there's anyone over here that we can get an angle on. Fortunately,
New target acquired.
managed to ping with Thunderbolt. Too much damage fell, unfortunately.
New
Let's
target
see if anyone else
acquired.
wants to put their heads up. Aw, invisible walls, why?
Target
Right.
spotted.
Comes out Thunderbolt again.
New target acquired.
And the Incubus left us a little gift. Which we shall promptly scorn. Draw. You give me your side torso, please.
Target acquired.
Target Delta is open CT.
New target acquired.
And that's a bad shot.
MS ammo depleted.
Let's see if we can crack one with this Marauder. Yes, we can.
Ammo critical.
Ooh, we are running hot.
New target
Alright,
acquired.
let's switch targets. Yeah. I should have gotten that shot. Okay. Let's try focus on some of the bigger targets. As this loadout, aside from the MRMs and lasers, isn't really conducive
New
to taking
target
down light
acquired.
mechs. See what we can do to this Thunderbolt, though. Some dropping.
New
Oh
target
boy.
acquired.
And I've got an assault mech behind me.
New target acquired. New target
And we're done. Yeah, that tends to be the case anytime you go up against a Fafnir running heavy gauss. They don't take kindly to their existence. You're grateful when they're on your team, provided the pilot is a decent shot. You hate them when they're on the enemy team, provided the pilot is a decent shot. Let's see how the rest of this match plays out. We're down by 3, although from many of the matches I've seen, we may just be able to turn this one around. Assassin. Got you for trying to take down the Locust. Is the Assassin? That Assassin's actually the medium. Or it might be one of the heavier tier lights. Though, running incredibly heavy. That's one of those things with the recent-ish, back in I think it was like July, the recent update to the matchmaking is there tends to be a lot more disparity between teams in terms of weight distribution. Which, sometimes doesn't have too much bearing on the outcome of the match. Other times, it's, night and day. Some more assassins just getting chewed up by that Locust. Locust Pirate's Spain, if piloted by a decently skilled pilot, is an incredibly devastating mech. Hunchback's doing his best to hold his own. The hero, or one of the heroes, good eye.
Laser destroyed.
Healthy time is actually awfully decent. Especially by the white mechs. You know, you don't get a lot of focus damage, but you can still put a fair amount out. There's also the fact that the white mechs don't carry much armor to begin with, and so
Left torso
you don't have to
critical.
deal too much damage against them. And unfortunately, we're not able to pull out a win on that one either. Let's see how we did. So we got 2 kills, 2 kill assists, 372 damage done with 541 taken, and 2 components destroyed. Not my best match ever, admittedly. Though we did manage to stay about, you know, on rough parity with most of the rest of our team. Which, you know, that's generally what you want to look for with most mechs, especially, you know, pseudo brawlers like this, is you do want to, you know, stay around the average. If I was running a LRM boat and I got that kind of damage, I'd be fairly disappointed with myself, you know, LRM, MRM, or SRM. Just because those mechs, you know, you're looking for really high damage output because of the nature of the weapon. Because this is a, you know, mostly focus fire mech, you know, using the MRMs and laser, you know, MRMs to get rid of armor, and then the lasers and like gauss rifles to take out components. You know, we want our components and kills to be on about parity with each other. You know, overall, both matches we, you know, mostly met that criteria. So I'd say, you know, despite those being losses, you know, those were successes in terms of utility of this build. So I appreciate you all viewing. If you haven't already, feel free to leave a like and a comment, and if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe. I'm Centauris, signing off.